The Prince, the Pyramid of Power. Introduction. Humanity's stagnation. Humanity has evolved biologically, intellectually, and technologically, yet remains spiritually and morally stagnant. While Homo sapiens developed tools, language, and complex societies, our consciousness and moral insight have changed little over millennia. Mystics and philosophers, from Gurdjieff to Nietzsche to Dante, observe that most humans live mechanically, repeating cycles of obedience, greed, and distraction, while only rare individuals achieve true awareness or self-overcoming. Observation. This stagnation has allowed a tiny minority, the elite, to dominate the majority throughout history, using control over perception, religion, wealth, and life itself. Chapter 1. Rome, the original pyramid. Time frame: 27 BCE, 476 CE. Centralized authority. Senators and emperors, such as Augustus and Nero, controlled taxation, military force, and legislation. Manipulation of the masses. Gladiatorial games, public executions, and festivals created participation illusions while reinforcing obedience. Religion as governance. Imperial cults fused political and divine authority, making dissent both civil and spiritual rebellion. Insight. Rome demonstrated that controlling perception is as vital as controlling resources. The masses acted mechanically, unaware of the invisible levers of power. Footnotes. 1. Augustus established the Principate in 27 BCE, creating a model of centralized power. 2. Gladiatorial games peaked during the 1st century CE as a tool of social control. Chapter 2. The Medieval Church, Spiritual Control. Time frame: 5th to 15th centuries. Monopoly over knowledge. Literacy and archives were confined to clergy. Universities and monasteries dictated information flow. Moral authority. Sin, penance, and salvation served obedience. The Inquisition, 12th to 19th centuries, punished dissenters. Wealth consolidation, papal lands, tithes, and donations created immense financial power. Insight. Only a few ascended spiritually, while the majority remained trapped in cycles of sin and obedience. Margin note. Faith as a tool of compliance. Spiritual obedience reinforced social control. Chapter 3. Early modern banking. The Invisible Empire. Time frame: 17th to 19th centuries. Elite families. Rothschilds, Medici, and Fuggers controlled credit, trade, and loans. Debt as control. Nations like France under Louis XIV were bound to private banking interests. Invisible governance. Unlike emperors, bankers operated from the shadows, influencing wars and borders. Insight. Money replaced spectacle as the ultimate lever of control. Footnotes. 1. Rothschild banking rise. Late 18th century, Europe. 2. Medici influence. 15th to 16th centuries in Florence. Chapter 4. Industrial and colonial eras. Expansion of control. Time frame: 18th to 20th centuries. Resource extraction. British colonies in India and Africa enriched London elites. Labor control. Industrial revolution exploited workers in unsafe conditions. Media influence. Newspapers like the Times shaped public perception in favor of empire and industry. Insight. Technological progress increased elite capacity while moral evolution lagged. Chapter 5. Modern corporations, banks, and supranational power. 20th to 21st centuries. Banks and financial institutions. Federal Reserve, 1913, IMF, 1944, and World Bank, 1944, control money supply and national debt. Multinational corporations. ExxonMobil, Nestle, Google, Pfizer dominate energy, food, media, pharmaceuticals, and tech. Intelligence networks. CIA, MI6, Mossad, and private contractors influence governments and suppress opposition. Media and culture. Disney, CNN, BBC, and social media platforms control narratives and ideology. Insight. Modern elites combine all historical levers: money, perception, ideology, while populations remain largely unconscious. Chapter 6. Contemporary mechanisms of elite control. 1. Manipulation of money and debt. Central banks dictate interest rates and liquidity. Countries remain financially dependent. Private banking creates perpetual debt cycles, e.g., U.S. and Turkey seigniorage issues. 2. Control of media and information. Media consolidation, Disney, Google, Comcast, shapes narratives. Social media algorithms amplify favorable content and suppress dissent. Entertainment distracts from systemic manipulation. 3. Energy and resource control. Oil and gas monopolies, ExxonMobil, Gazprom, Aramco, set prices and access. Nuclear, rare earths, and renewables determine technological influence. Energy-independent nations face sanctions or covert pressure. 4. Wars, conflicts, and intelligence operations. Conflicts, Ukraine, Middle East, serve elite profit, influence, and resources. Intelligence agencies orchestrate coups, enforce sanctions, or install favorable leaders. 5. Psychological, social, and ideological control. Fear, crisis, and ideological division increase obedience. Technology dependence tracks, predicts, and influences behavior. Identity politics and culture wars prevent collective awareness. Margin note: control today is mostly invisible, psychological, and systemic. Conclusion: the enduring pyramid. From Rome to today, elite control principles remain unchanged. Centralized authority, manipulation of perception, and exploitation of human stagnation. Technology, media, finance, and energy amplify their influence globally. The pyramid endures. Most humans remain asleep, mechanical, and unaware. True liberation requires conscious awareness, moral insight, and spiritual evolution. Without awakening, technological progress continues while human consciousness stagnates, ensuring the few at the top retain absolute influence over the many.